Pulsechain has higher throughput, better security, lower environmental impact to the point of nearly none, is a newer coin with more features, is faster than Bitcoin. But Bitcoin has an $800 billion market cap. Pulsechain doesn't. Why? Well, we're new. We're on the way, right? Things will get better, in my opinion. So like, oh, and for you listening, is that a forward-looking price statement? Nope, not a forward-looking price statement, not financial advice. So we've got a wonderful network. We've got wonderful features. We've got wonderful airdrop. There's, you can do lending on the Pulsechain network. There's projects that let you borrow coins. There's projects that there's stable coins on Pulsechain. There's all types of stuff people have launched on Pulsechain. Guys, the network is good. Works great. Oh, and the bridge is free too. Somebody set the bridge to 0 fee so that using the bridge has no fee, both directions. So if you go to bridge.pulsechain.com, there's no fees currently. In, out, either way, no fees. Now you're going to pay a fee on the Ethereum network. Nothing you can do about that. That's Ethereum's side, right? So you got a great network and you got a ton of free coins and it's been worked flawlessly for 7 months. Go make it great, guys. Launch stuff on it, use it, build fiat on-ramps, make a money transmitter in your state, make a licensed money transmitter in your state, and you can, make the community better. Like,
everybody, woohoo! Yes, things are just beginning, and of course that was Richard Hart from New Year's time for the beginning of this year. So I think it's pretty exciting. It's still early days back then, still early days today, and of course we've got some very interesting things happening in the market with a bit of a shakeout. We do know that we're in the volatility period, 2-3 months after the Bitcoin halving. We've seen that before. We're going to check out all those charts today to give a big picture item of the future of Pulsechain and the crypto bull market. So we're going to be covering lots of different angles today around both of those components and how they might work together, as well as some other stuff there too. Let's see who's in the chat there. We got Lies Beneath. How are you? We got very good. Good to see you back again today, Lies. We missed you yesterday, and hope you had a good break. What's the weather outside like? Sort of a mixed out there. It's kind of wintry here. It's kind of a mixed day today. Not super sunny or not super rainy, stormy. Kind of in the middle somewhere. Hex Pulsex incentive for the 100%. That is the Maxi strategy of this channel. And we are holding fast for that. And of course, the Magic Carpet ride. Let's see who else. Tail 7 in the house here. Mafia Pump imminent. Yeah, I'm not covering Mafia per se today. We'll be having a full show on Mafia tomorrow. Mafia on Pulsechain and on BNB. And we're going to talk a little bit about it at the end of today's live stream. But that is doing pretty well. Pump imminent. I think so too. Looking good. Certainly getting a bigger coverage. So we'll talk about that. But we are doing a full show on that tomorrow. We're going to have Cult DeFi and a few special guests. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Craig Pitt in the house there. Morning all. Good to see you, Craig. Hope you're doing well. And always a pleasure, as always. And we've got Crypto Incognito as well. On fire. I like that. Tail 7's very pumpish about Mafia. Man, Tail 7, you're full on. You're even more gung-ho than me, and I'm super gung-ho. Mafia is very undervalued, expecting the next leg up within the 1 to 3 days. I like that. We got Brendan in the house as well. Morning, Superman and family. Hey, Brendan, hope you're doing well. And, of course, we got Wookie. Woohoo! Afternoon, Super. Afternoon to you. And we got Archie as well, the Don of the Syndicate. Man, it's always good to have royalty in the house. Big shout out to Archie there, the godfather of the Syndicate. Well, I guess, are they Dons? You got to kind of earn the godfather title playing the game. So we shall see. But certainly the Don of the Syndicate in the house, number one Mafia family in the game. Wookie says, you are enlightened today, Super. Hey, thanks for that. Appreciate that. Let's get into it. We're going to, let's go. And we're going to pull up the results for the stock market today. This will be for Tuesday in the US. And we've got some pretty interesting stuff happening here. So S&P 500 clutches record high again. NVIDIA now the most valuable company in the world. So there we go. Of course, AI and computer chips, right? Super powerful chips. And of course, that's going to be, you're not going to go put them in robots, right? And all hell's going to break loose. Are we ready for this? Probably not. But it's coming pretty fast now. The technology is starting to get to that point between humanoid robots, and the power of these AI chips, right? So talking about down at the near the atom, the size of the atom, and wafer layering things on in terms of chip computing power with the old processors there, transistors. It's insanity happening right over there. And of course, they're getting more into quantum physics and all that sort of stuff. And so it's going to be pretty crazy, some of the technology coming down the line, folks. Anyway, we got the Dow Jones there is up 0.15%, 56 points to 38,834. S&P 500 there up 0.25%, almost 14 points to 5,487. And the Nasdaq, with all the tech companies, of course, benefiting this, pretty flat today, actually 3.4 points at 17,860. That's kind of it at the moment. There's, like I say in the video there, really ramping up there. Pretty crazy. Market cap, $3.34 trillion. And of course, what's that? It's even more than the whole Bitcoin market together. Yeah, pretty amazing now as well. Now, we did have the retail sales increased at a slower than anticipated rate for the month basis of May. So that's good for the interest rate pivot that we're looking forward to a bit later. So kind of cool. Let's see how we go. Let's get straight into from the stock market. Actually, let's do commodities because we haven't covered commodities. Let's quickly have a look at those. West Texas at $80, Brent oil at $85, both of them flat today. Gold at the moment down just a little bit, $3 to 2,343, and silver there just below $30, just up a little bit there, 3 cents to $29.59. We'll be watching that theme as well this year for silver and gold, especially with the interest rate pivot and the US dollar pivot or devaluation we're expecting from that on a sustained basis, especially with all the enemies of the world, or the troublemakers looking to try and get around the reserve currency of the US dollar. So we will be watching that. More meetings are happening in that space. May turn around again though if we get Trump back in the White House. But certainly America's enemies are getting stronger, and of course US is getting weaker because of the Biden and Democrat leadership. And of course they've got a little plan to hand over power to the UN and all that sort of stuff. But hopefully Trump will save the day and keep the freedoms for the people, because he's the last man standing for that role, last man standing. So if he fails, it's game over on that side of the ledger. So we will see what happens there. We're going to get over to the crypto market. We've got Bitcoin at 65,438 at the moment, down 2%. Bitcoin dominance at 53.47%. So it's pretty similar to yesterday in terms of the dominance, but the Bitcoin there down 2%. Bit of a shakeout. Like I say, we did know that it's going to be 2-3 months after Bitcoin halving, and we're at basically 2 months, 60 days after that at the moment. And so yeah, that's no surprises here at the moment. Ethereum at the moment as well, 3,500, down just 0.77%. Everything else pretty down here. I mean, you obviously can see that. The Dodge and SHIB are down 5-6% on the meme front. Of course, that's kind of been still performing pretty well up until like 2 days ago, the memes. And of course, AI tokens have been down, right? AI tokens have been down for the last week or so. But memes continue just to plow along. So people can, it just seems psychologically easy for people to jump onto memes as well in the crypto. All right, so that is it on that. Let's just zoom into Bitcoin a bit more here. We're going to have a bit of a look at the crypto bull market. So we're going to talk about that. We've got a few more comments in the chat, so we should pick up some of those, I think. Let's see it. There's a light shining on you. Yeah, what is that light? It's crazy. I see the light too. I can't get rid of the light. It's shining on my face. It's been doing it for quite a few days. One might say it's a reflection. Maybe. I have noticed it myself. We got Go Positive. Hey, everybody. Go Positive. Hi, everybody. Go Positive is in the house. Big shout out. Welcome to everybody too. If you're new to the channels, we're streaming on 3 channels: Hex Token, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain X. That's over 10,500 subscribers. So if you're on any of those channels watching, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the Discord. Get involved in our Discord. Very, very cool. In fact, I've got to double check that Superman X actually has the Discord link there, but we will see. I like your rockets there, Wookie. We've got Solid in the house as well. Hello all, good to see you. Hey Solid, welcome to the chat. Follow the light, super. Yeah, I am. I'm following the light. Good one there. That's really clever, Wookie. What else we got going there? Maybe it's the crypto gods shining on you, says Brennan. Maybe. Yeah, I can see it. I I don't know where it's coming from though. I have no idea. I'm trying to look around, but anyway, there we go. That's the Shining. Hopefully it's not the Shining. That would be terrifying. Anyway, we got Bitcoin here at the moment. You guys can see our map. Do you like the map? I think it's kind of cool. We've had the Bitcoin halving back here on the 20th of April. We are basically 60 days from that. We know that 2 or 3 months after the Bitcoin halving, we do get volatility. It's been kind of in our favor so far to most of the degree, but here we are getting a bit of a pullback. We're 60 days in since the Bitcoin halving, so we're getting there. We're almost, this Grey Swan event here, this Taiwan invasion, that's based on the weather, right? So the weather, the best weather for invasion. And of course, we're just about through that at the moment. So we did see some antics, though, didn't we? We did see some antics from China's Navy trying to surround Taiwan during that time. But so far, so good. No one wants it, right? No one wants it. We do see the foreign ministers from China at the moment going around. They've just been to New Zealand and Australia trying to, make things good or not. Hopefully it's not like the white letter. Do you guys remember the Chamberlain white letter? Came back and said, we have peace in our time with this letter after he met Adolf Hitler. And then it was war after that, pretty close. It was pretty close to war after that. So, it's we got to be careful with these nice peaceful foreign ministers and stuff like that. So cool. So there we go. At the moment, we've got a little while to get through that, but so far so good for this Grey Swan event. And of course, we're moving forward. And of course, we've got a bit of a gap here all the way through to September. Now, we know September is typically a pullback month most of the time. So most of the time it is a pullback month. And let's go have a look at that on the history. You can see here the returns for Bitcoin every single month. And of course, we can see that September here is typically a red month, a decrease in the market. We can see that. Look at that. But last year in 2023, it was a green month. But every other year it had, before that, 6 years in a row had been a green month. We had two green months, in this 2016. That was another halving year, right? So 2020 was a halving year, 2016. And of course, before that, we had red. So you can see how red September is for pullbacks. But look what's next to it. Green is in October. Green. Look at that. Green is in October. So October has been consistently green. So with a couple of reds, but mostly green. So looking pretty optimistic about that. November's not too bad either, although, in recent years been a bit off. But in the halving years, it's been green, right? 2020 and 2016, green. So we're feeling good about green this year, especially last year was green. Feeling good about green this year as well. So this is kind of playing into our position here that we're thinking, maybe June, July could be a little bit squeezy, but last year July was mostly pretty good. Look at that, mostly pretty good in terms of the Bitcoin halving year. Green on the Bitcoin halving year. 2016 was red, but feeling pretty good there. So maybe June we etch out another. We've got a red month at the moment. I'm not finished yet, of course. Still got quite a bit of time to go. So it's 11 days or so. So yeah, maybe we might etch out a green month, and maybe July green. And then August is going to be a question mark. You can sort of see it's almost 50-50 on the halvings, though. It was green in 2020, wasn't in 2016. So yeah, maybe we give a bit of volatility in there, but maybe July is good. Maybe August is modest. Maybe September we have that down month, and then October, November, December we rally. That's what I'm expecting there. So let's see how we go for that. So yeah, not too bad. Now, also in September, when we have this typical pullback, we've actually got the earliest date for the interest rate pivot, which is the 18th of September. And of course, that would be a bullish for the markets, right? So that's in there at the moment. We also have coming up on the 5th of November, the US election. That's going to be bullish, especially if Trump wins. If he doesn't, then, we'll probably have shorter market cycles. And then, of course, we've got interest rates there, interest rate pivots in November the 7th. So if we don't get it in the 18th September, which is like a 2/3 chance at the moment, then we'll get it probably in November, which is an 80% chance at the moment. So that's kind of where we are there for interest rates. These are all bullish depending on the outcomes. So yeah, very, very cool. All right, and this November, this US election and interest rate pivot would play into our October, November, December rally, and of course that's what we typically see. So those are some of the ideas there. We're currently, on the Bitcoin there. We've got the 50-day at 66,770. We're just below that at the moment. It's having a little bit of a pullback, bit of a shakeout. If we look further afield for the Bitcoin halvings, this is the halvings chart. We can see that, 2016, the 2012 as well, we have these big rallies. I mean, they're not exactly the same, but they're generally that's the bull run, right there. That's the bull run right there. Look at that. And then, of course, we had in 2020, we had the bull run there too, but it was a couple months in, right, before we really got going. And that's why we're saying 2-3 months, right? Because a couple months in, you can sort of see that too. A couple of months in here from where we were pre-halving, a couple of months in, and then a game on, right? So not so much in 2020. It was about a month or two, but then it was game on after that. So it's pretty consistent. And so why not expect something pretty similar now, right? And of course, not only do we have the same pattern repeating, but we've also got the Bitcoin ETFs and we've got the Ethereum ETFs, right? So the Ethereum ETFs are coming. And of course, so we're expecting those in July. In fact, I don't actually have those. We're expecting those coming up in the 2nd of July. That is the play. Let's put a little line for that because I don't actually have that in there. But that is coming up for the 2nd of July. We're expecting approvals there for the Ethereum ETF. This is final approvals. Well, at least ETF go live. So that's what we're expecting. I guess we'll make that green. Let's make it green. And we'll make that green too because it's pretty a green bullish thing. So that is where we're expecting it. So that's super bullish too, right? So that can make July really bullish, and then maybe August is a bit of a question mark, and of course September is normally a pullback month, and then of course we get into October, November, December. Likely probability that we have that full-on run. So we could get some pretty steep moves in here for the most part. Now September may not end up being negative either. We could just have a nice little run through there. And of course, targeting that, that $100,000 Bitcoin plus. So that's kind of the background there. See if you got any comments on that. No comments on that. That is it for the moment. So let's see. There is all the Bitcoin. So that's kind of cool. Now that not only do we have this time is different too. So this year is different. We not only do we have this history, but we have the Bitcoin ETFs, the Ethereum ETFs, but we also have, you guys know, the Runes protocol. So we have meme season on Bitcoin for the first time. So it's huge. These are all mega things for the first time. So this bull run is probably going to be pretty impressive, is my guess. So maybe 3-4x of the Bitcoin from the previous high. So in the last bull market. So really excited about where this is going. Obviously, there's going to be volatility in there. Whenever you got something leveraged on the underlying asset like Ethereum or Bitcoin, the speculative side of it is when Bitcoin goes up, it goes up a lot more. When Bitcoin goes down, it goes down a lot more, right? So you have that going at the moment. That's what we're seeing at the moment with Bitcoin just coming back a bit, from the 70,000 marks down to the 64K, for example. We do see the Runes protocol with meme coin season on Bitcoin for the first Bitcoin bull run. It's going to be pretty amazing. And at the moment, we can see Dog Go to the Moon, which is the one we're picking for the win. Expecting that to really have a hyper rally during this bull market, and you're going to see money be printed, right? That's kind of play. At the moment, it's come back quite nicely at 9.4 sats. Market cap back down from 700 million a couple of days ago down to 600 million. So that's a really good entry on that. Obviously, any pullback with the shakeouts, kind of cool. We got Bank Nakamoto dollar at the moment down 6%. All of them pretty much down. A $1 billion cat, which is a new entrant, that's up again today. In fact, that's slightly higher than it was yesterday. 100 sats yesterday, 107 now. So that's up to 69 million on that one. Epic number 7. Lobo the Woolpup, another one of my favorites, down 12%. And Decentralized, which is a Ethereum team, down 8%. And Satoshi Nakamoto down 11%. They're top 10. So that's the play at the moment on that. And of course, you can see the NFTs as well on their Magic Eden. Magic Eden is number 1 DEX for Bitcoin in the Runes protocol. Unisat is number 2 there, and there's several others as well. But you can see the top 10 NFTs at the moment, or ordinals. Node Monks there, Bitcoin Puppets, Quantum Cats, Ord Maxis, Runestone, Pizza Ninja, Blob, Natcats, the Royals, and Frux there to wrap up the top 10. Most of them are down today, but you can see Bitcoin Pups still holding up a little bit, and Natcat's down 3% as well with Bitcoin. So you're going to get that leverage movement up or down, and of course, that's what we see in the EVM chains as well. That's the play. So Magic in there at the moment. If you want to check out the Runes, of course, And of course, the meme coin season, you don't really want to miss it as part of your portfolio. You must do your due diligence in there. But if you want to find out more details, get into our Discord, into the Strategy Club. It's $35 a month. And of course, we talk about stuff like that there. Trying to have a meeting on that this weekend, by the way, for Strategy Club. So to update on a lot of projects that we've been covering. So there it is there, Magic Eden Bitcoin there. Woo! All right, and now speaking of dog, which we're backing to be the big meme coin, it kind of makes sense, the narrative that you'd have the biggest meme coin on the most valuable chain, right? That kind of makes sense. And so we've seen obviously Solana do pretty well, meme coins on there, on Base doing well, things like that. But we're picking dog on Bitcoin for the first Bitcoin season to be absolutely huge. Now you got to remember how many rich Bitcoin holders are out there, right? And so that's a big deal. And they want to get in some of this leverage action, including hedge funds and things like that. So pretty bullish. Now we can see here a dog at the moment was doing pretty really good, up to 98 of a penny. If it gets to 1 cent, that's $1 billion market cap. That puts it in a very exclusive club of about eight different meme coins across different chains. And of course, all the others are on tier 1 exchanges. Dog yet to get those top ones. It's got 2 decent ones, which is Gate and of course Bybit. But we're looking for those other ones: KuCoin, Kraken, Binance, and Crypto.com, Robinhood, Coinbase, those sort of things to come up. So at the moment, we're kind of bouncing. We've bounced off this 5700th of a penny. You can see we've done that a couple of times here on the daily. And of course, the structure here under test at the moment, the support line under big test here with the Bitcoin pullback. And so we're going to see where this is going. So it's got horizontal support still holding, but it is starting to break through this angular support here at the moment. So we'll be watching that as well. Obviously moving around the Bitcoin. Now imagine when Bitcoin does do a rebound, this is going to get some big green candles. So picking the bottom of this move is going to be pretty important. And of course, picking up that volume as well on dog. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, decentralized exchanges, centralized exchanges, big theme for meme coins on Bitcoin for the first season, first bull market. Don't miss this opportunity. It is an opportunity of a lifetime. It's going to be pretty cool. All right, so let's get into Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment, we're going to quickly run through this. Obviously, we've covered a lot of the stuff there. We've got the Ethereum ETF potentially going live and coming up on the 2nd July. It's only about a week away, isn't it? Or 2 weeks? How far away is that? This chart's a little deceptive. Yeah, 2 weeks away, just under 2 weeks. And at the moment, we are just below the 50-day moving average. So Ethereum actually looking pretty relatively good, right? With big news coming up with the ETFs. Pretty cool. So we're expecting the F1 forms to be completed. That was the indicator what the SEC. Since we had the ETH, first part of the ETH approvals there on the 23rd, they're very late with correspondence to the applicants, right, from the SEC. And we've just had, a little, it's doing all happening very quiet. We had Gary Gensler suddenly coming out, said it's going to be completed before the end of summer. So yeah, it's kind of looking good here in July. And that's from Bloomberg analyst, right? Bill Kahanis there. Hopefully I haven't butchered his name, but that's the way to go. So looking good here. So this is probably short-lived little shakeout. We'll see how we go at the moment. And of course, we do have support here probably at 3,220 if we do decide to go a bit lower before we have that big move. So looking pretty good. That's going to lead us into Pulsechain. And Richard actually talked quite a bit about these all-time highs. So this is really cool. Whenever he posts something, you're getting into his mind, right? Getting into Richard Hart's mind. So it's really cool to see this stuff. So Ethereum at the moment is down 27%, says Richard, from its all-time high 950 days ago. So he's trying to give some context here. But it's actually really interesting to see what he's actually talking about and why he's talking about it. It gives a little bit of blues clues into where he's at. So yeah, he's got XRPs at 87%, 2,357 days ago. Dodge 82%, 1,137 days ago from the all-time high. ADA 1,000 days. So he's just trying to put out, these are a long time since these have reached all-time high. Only Bitcoin, of course, really has done that. SHIB down, 78% of the 78% of the all-time high, 964 days. So they're all very longer. A lot of these top ones, Bitcoin Cash, Uni, Litecoin, you can see they're all pretty similar. And that was from Richard there. He also, and here's those ranked by market cap. And he's got the market caps for those, XRP number 8, etc., SHIB 13. So he's got the list of that and some more. Coins percentage down from all-time highs. Vet and Gala, a few others there. Sand and others, Algo as well. So pretty interesting there. And of course, Aave there, 80%, 1,126 days. So it's got lots of details there, trying to give context to where things are at. Potentially, I guess, related to Pulsechain as well. That was a pretty interesting little post there. Richard has been posting out a few other stuff as well about Ethereum supply and demand and tokenomics. A lot of the stuff that most of you guys will know, since most of you guys are pretty pros around. All right, so let's jump into the results for day 403 on Pulsechain. Have we got any more comments before we move on? Diehard says, when Mars? When Mars? Well, soon. It's getting there. Let's get it. We're going to be covering a lot of Pulsechain stuff. So we kind of covered a lot around the crypto bull market and where that sort of shaping up at the moment, given the political and financial and historical news is for crypto. And I think it's looking very bright indeed. Barring maybe September, we're looking very, very, very good for that big bull run that we saw in those charts. The other thing, of course, is the future of Pulsechain. We're going to talk about that as well. This is sort of the second half here. But let's get into the results for day 403. We've got quadruple 0454 at the moment, down 2.36%. 45% of mean sacrifice price, so even better entry than we've had for a recent while there on this little move. In fact, you think about Pulsechain's holding up pretty well, given the rest of the market's kind of moving down a bit more. We got Pulsex there at quadruple 0191, down 2.5%, sitting at 19% of the mean sacrifice price. So some huge upside potential there for Pulsex once it does turn. So we're waiting for that turn, but there it is. 897.8 billion Pulsex has been bought up and burned. We're so close to 900 billion, and of course 4.43% of the public supply. Now we're going to talk about trade volumes, because obviously the buy and burn, the more volumes that we're having going through, more transactions, the more we're buying and burning. So pretty cool there. And I want to emphasize the buy part of that, right? Buying up and then burning. So it's got both mechanisms there. The buying being very powerful. We got Incentive token at the moment, $2.30, down 3.55%. Now, obviously, that's a function of Pulse price and the ratio to Pulse. And the ratio to Pulse has dropped down there to 50,859, but still holding up pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with that where that is at the moment. Anything over 45,000 is pretty good, but 50,000 is very, very good. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. The total supply, 34.7 million incentive tokens in existence. So it's ticking away. And of course, they're from the V1 farms on Pulsex, which is still giving an extremely good return in the Pulsex farms. So people in there must be very happy with those yields, because looking very, very good indeed. Hex at the moment is down 2.3% to 54 hundredth of a penny. Hex is very cheap at the moment to pick up, and of course EHEX there at 13 hundredth of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is at 67 hundredth of a penny. That's such good value to pick up a lot of Hex at the moment, and I know some people are doing that to accumulate. So kind of cool. So that's day 403. Let's quickly look at the charts, because I want to get into sort of where Pulsechain has gone and where it could head to in the future. So that's kind of we're doing this in three parts. Doing the market update first. Pulsex here at the moment. Pulsechain, and this is on the daily. We can see that yesterday, we got down to as low as 44.55 on the Pulsechain. We're now at 4,500, so we're up from yesterday. The RSI on the daily is at 35. Not quite oversold territory yet. So let's have a quick look at the weekly. Weekly at the moment that's the weekly chart. So you can see that we're really pushing these previous lows that we had in December. So we have been down here before, of course, and we are really pressing those what was resistance. We're really pushing through that now, but we're just holding on where we are at the moment. Just holding on to those periods in December, and we're down at 34 in the RSI. So we potentially could go down further. We've got room in the RSI to do it, but we are pretty low at the moment. So we'll see where we turn here. At the moment, holding on, fingers crossed there. We got Pulsex at the moment as well, 1910 on the daily. We're sitting at 37 on the RSI. We got no cross here at the moment, so no bullish signal there on that. And let's go to the weekly on the old Pulsex. All right, what happened to my chart? Oh, we broke that down. Pulsex here at the moment, so we're pretty just a bit further down. We were a couple of weeks ago. And where are we on here? So we're just really starting to get down to our next level. 1800, 17 to 1800 is the next level. We're currently at 1900, so we're just above that at the moment. RSI down at 37, so really teetering here at the moment. And of course, that's 17,800 is the next level if we get that. Beyond that, of course, we're going down to 15 to 1400. So we'll see how we go on that one. We still have higher lows in Pulsex, so that's probably the bullish thing here at the moment. We've still got the higher low in place compared to Pulsechain. Let's go to incentive token at the moment. Like I say, this is probably looking the best out of them all because the incentive ratio is still holding up in these channels. Look at this, beautiful, really, really spectacular. This is the one thing that's kind of crazy. And what does it signal? That when we get pulse pivoting, Pulsex pivoting, this thing here is going to have a real hyper move, isn't it? It's going to have a real powerful move. That's all I'm saying. The fact that it's holding up this range, that's insano. And of course, we're slowly getting more incentive tokens out every day. It does have number scarcity, as we talked about, with the supply. But man, this thing could really go after that. And of course, once it breaks 71,000, man, it could do some mad gains there. I mean, $2.30 at the moment. If we get something like that, could go, 10, break all-time high of $10. And of course, move up to $20, something like that. Do something silly, sick like that. So it's going to be pretty cool. Hex at the moment, of course, is the cheapest one of them all, in my view. Heaps to get volume at the moment. Pulsechain there down at just below 5,400 of a penny. And so, yeah, easily one to accumulate right now with mad volumes on the old Hex there. Once we get that Pulsechain turnaround, this is likely, because it's going down more, probably likely to go back more too. Maybe a pretty good performer there, like incentive token. So that's kind of it on PHEX. EHEX as well, pretty similar story. This is on the, have we got the weekly here? Yeah, pretty similar story here, 34. So all looking pretty similar at the moment. Let's go combined price EHEX PX. You can see in this chart, the combined price EHEX, that this is super low, down at 6,700 of a penny. So what's that, 2/3 of a cent? Easily one for accumulation zone there. And of course, it will have the opposite impact when we break the 3 cent mark. So that's going to be something for the future there as we move into the run. Now, let's quickly go through some of the charts here as well for the rest of the markets. Derivatives are actually green. Whoa, freak out. What's going on here? Why are derivatives green? Well, they're green today. So they're kind of up at the moment. Both Alex McFurter and Dipcatcher's projects are all up at the moment. So except for Hedron, which is down 2.3%. So a nice little bit of green there for people that have got those. A nice little bit of refreshing there. Now we're going to go to the stable coins, have a look at those. What do we got? What's green here? We've got LUSD is green. Now I did tell you to keep a look out on LUSD. I covered it 2 days ago, I think it was. This might be a surprise because LUSD and PUSD, along with USD Tether and USD Tether, all the copies right on Pulsechain except for LUSD. Apparently they've shut off the minting for LUSD. Finally, they had one person in their team was tried to do some sort of selling rug. That's what this red candle was, I think, back here on the 8th of June. And of course now they're burning the token. So this could be a speculative play. I said maybe $150, put into it, get 1 billion coins, and see how you go. That's kind of the logic there. What's that? 800 million? Yeah, it's $130. So yeah, probably get $150, $160 to get 1 billion. It is a speculative play, but man, if it does head towards 1 cent with this burning mechanism and the minting's been stopped, then man, it could be game on, right? Certainly do due diligence, but that's the basic logic there. Let's go have a look at the total supply, 16 trillion LUSD, and of course, I would use a degeneral, of course, as usual. But man, they're looking to try and burn 10 trillion inside 150 days. So let's see how much they've actually burned so far. Well, here we are, 3.88% at the moment. So slowly going up there. In fact, it's probably relatively fast compared to a lot of burning mechanisms. And that's gone to the dead address at the moment. So that is ticking away. Let's go to, I think they've got a website here. Let's go to Twitter. Hopefully that will pull up because I limited access to Twitter, but or X as it's now called. So yeah, here was 8. They got 4% here. I don't know whether they've done rounding on that or what. But baby, Disco Inferno there on PUSD. They've got an update thread there as well. We went through that the other day. So this is going to be a one to what look out for there in terms of speculative plays. But like PDI, PDI is ticking away as well. Let's have a look at that. PDI is taking a bit of a journey here around. So once it broke that uptrend, didn't make it to a cent, got pretty close, 92, 9300 of a penny. It is going to have to do a little bit of a cup there. Cup and handle maybe, I don't know, but it's probably a bit of a U-turn to get back up to 1 cent. But it's still in the play, nothing stopping us here. The RSI is cooling off really nicely. We're going to bounce at 50. Is 50 going to be the time when it tries to go to the upside? That's going to be pretty interesting to see that too on PDI. So there are 2 speculative plays. One of them, this one, of course, PDI, rumored that Richard Hart's involved in this in some mystical, magical way, maybe a troper and all that sort of stuff. So That is kind of at the maker theory, as we call it. So it's going to be fun to see that. So we've got two different type of approaches there. One independent, perhaps, one rumored. So we will see. So that is it on PDI. Let's jump over to the influencer coins. Now we've talked about. Now I want to move into not just market covering, but actually into what we've seen in the past so far that's been valuable, right? So we've seen a wave, a couple of waves of utility tokens launching. Thinking of Liquid Loans, PowerC, all those great ones, Intent Money, or lots of different projects out there. Patias, all the DEXs, of course, 9mm, 9-inch, etc. So we've seen lots of cool things happening. Lending, DEXs. We've seen perpetual trading with Famous and things like that. So we've had lots of really good products and protocols and teams launch on Pulsechain, and I don't think that's going to go away anywhere. We're still expecting a lot more of those to come onto the chain. So I think that's going to add more value over time, particularly as market prices go up. The utility of those dApps will go up as well, right? So that's going to happen as well. So obviously, that's going to be a lot of fun to see that when we get sentiment change, all that pivot, it all goes up to the other side, and that's what's going to happen at some stage. So that's what we're trying to time at the moment. The other one, of course, is we've got influencer coins, right? Influencer coins have been out there. They've actually been really good. If you think about the last couple of months, given new opportunity, a bit new life to the Pulse chain as well in terms of volume, as utility sort of excitement sort of grew, dimmed down for a while. They'll come back quickly, of course, but that's kind of where we are. And at the moment, we've seen a lot of influencer coins. That's sort of like cooled down. And we've still got Scuba Steve here, still making a bit of a gain here, 2.4% today. All the rest of them are down with Pulse chain, of course. But they've played their role, right? Especially for a couple of months, they've done pretty well. They had a big excitement. We saw some huge prices, right, for a Note token. We saw some huge prices for Access Alive. They did some massive gains on there. We saw what's this other one here? A Solid X did extremely well. Remember, that's $29 now, but it did some pretty crazy stuff. Let's go to the weekly here. On the Solid X here, you can see we had some big pump there. Some people got pretty wealthy out. I saw somebody saying, I just bought a little bit and I've managed to pay off my house. Things like that happening. And we had a few of those stories in there as well. So yeah, influencer coins played a big role. Now, obviously, you guys know we've obviously had memes as well. We've had many memes jump on to Pulsechain. And of course, anybody can mint tokens these days. Unlike previous bull markets where you pretty much had to be a coder, this year, this bull market is anyone can do it because there's people who've already set up it so that you can make free tokens like on GoPulse or on Trust Finance or any of these sort of sites. You can make your own tokens on Pulsechain. So it's pretty boom there. I know some people that are doing tokens every day, and they're scraping the bots, because when you make a token, you launch it, often the bots will come in and buy some up, and of course these people are rugging the bots. So we've talked about, I think if you remember, Dipcatcher was saying, we had so much volume on here because the bots were rugging everybody, and we need more bot protection. And of course, Patias came along with that with bot protection. But we do have people that actually launch tokens and try and target the bots to take their pulse off them. So that's pretty cool too. And you maybe food for thought for some of you that are what we call grinders, trying to grind your way into crypto bags. So that is pretty cool. And that one, let's have a look at. So there's some of the sort of themes that we've seen. Dexes and all that sort of stuff, and we've covered that many times. But we've also got the overall market. So some of the markets here, we've got 10.5 million volume. Obviously, that's relatively low, right? We saw even on Sunday, US time, we only had 7.7 million, which is pretty low down there. 10.5 million at the moment. We would love to get back in that $25 to $40 million range. And of course, we need a pivot for that. So sentiment comes back. People are buying and selling a lot more. So we need to change in that. And our transactions are 218,000 at the moment. So we need to turn around for that. So that's also the case. Now, I see here on the trending over the last 6 hours, we've got a few things going on there. We've got Love.io. I think that, projects like Love.io with the social networks, I think that's something that really needs to be flourished and increases the amount of social protocols on Pulsechain to get those connections up between people that are active on the chain. We've got LUSD, which I talked about. That's a speculative one, but man, it might only take a little bit of an outlay to make mad gains on that. Obviously, if they're trying to target a dollar, at the moment it's got 6 zeros, 1600 with that big boom mechanism, and the minting has been stopped. So that could be pretty interesting. UFO, of course, is up 3% there. That's from the DAO tokens. I was going to talk about that too. Not only we've seen meme tokens, but we've seen a lot of DAO and reflection tokens, right? So tokens with taxes. That's been a huge mechanism. And in the previous bull market, that was kind of shunned upon because they often died away and stuff like that. There was lots of issues with teams and things like that. But I think they've been a lot better used in this bull market so far. And we've seen projects like PDDC, which have absolutely done incredible, launch associated tokens and using arbitrage and other things like that to reduce their supply and increase the price value over time. And particularly as we're in this sort of downtrend on Pulsechain, looking for the bottom, waiting for the pivot and the uptrend to start, we really these tokens are still ticking away. So still doing their things there. And so we've got UFO up at the moment, 3%. Those are kind of one the Hex Orange address there. So not only we've seen meme coins, but we've often seen a lot of what you might want to call viral teams like Hex, like the Tang Gang and things like that. So they've still been doing their thing. You can love it or not like it because they can be quite pumpy and dumpy, but they also do help with virality and adoption. So it's a bit of a pro and con there with projects like that, but that is ticking away there as well on that one. So that is kind of where we are at the moment on the chain. Let's have a look at a broader view on Pulsechain, and we can see that for day, let's have a look at the results here. We're going to quickly finish off the results for day 404 and have a look at the gas prices. Gas prices pretty decent, down $250,000 there. You can see the prices there. I'm not going to read them out today because I want to get into talking about some of the statistics. You can see the validators are pretty much the same as we had, 48,644, 1.56 trillion off the market there, and the bridge. The bridge there sitting even weaker than yesterday. We were sitting at 103 million or so, 103.4 I think it was. We're down 102.8, and that will be reflective of EHEX, of course. We've got PDI down a little bit too, a couple 100,000, and ETH is down, of course, with the ETH price. So those are kind of dragging us down. Stable coins are stable, of course, for the most part, and I think they're probably still peaked. Haven't checked those, but that is price, and Bitcoin is down as well. So that's just dragging our bridge values down a little bit there at the moment. That is on the bridge. So let's get into the activity. Now, I wanted to talk about the past and the future here. So at the moment, we've already talked about quite a few of the token, different type of tokens that we've been getting out, from utilities to influencer coins to memes to DAO reflection tokens, those sort of things that have been on the chain. Lending, of course, leverage, the things like that we've got on the chain at the moment, which is all great. And you heard Richard in the first video talking all about that. But we have had transactions, right? So I don't often talk about this transaction page, but it's only because it's really quite useful when I'm talking about where we're going, where we've been, where we're going. You can see that we've got all these transactions at the moment. We've had 152 million transactions on Pulsechain since the fork, and of course since it went live there on the 13th. So kind of cool. You can see that we've kind of tapered off at the moment. You can see the transactions down here, 300, and of course these little dips will generally be weekends, right? So yeah, we've got to get the high up here, around 500,000 transactions. So how do we do that, right? Well, we need new applications. We need all the influencers, singing with one voice, and whatever they're doing, they can cover any project, but just singing out there. The community itself has a huge role. Word of mouth, spreading it around. If you've got little accounts on X or whatever you do, you all play a role, right? It's all that total accumulative power of the community generally, not just influencers, not just community members, but everybody together singing in the same voice. And of course, we have seen with the market being down, we've seen, some people are getting into drama and fighting each other and things like that because, the market is down and the sentiment is down, and you're always going to get that. I mean, it's crypto market, right? So as that is the place, but the more people do get on board the same page, the bigger the chance we've got of, spreading the community and getting it up there and getting the transactions up. So getting transactions up are really important, and getting value up is going to be a function of the price chart pivoting, and also a value, subject to more protocols, more high value protocols launching on Pulsechain as well. And we're going to cover a couple of those, just giving you an idea of what the future looks like for Pulsechain in that front as well. Active wallets, of course, that's also going to be a similar function of the market. So instead of people fighting each other or except people getting upset, what you do in these situations is just push out the word. Let them know there's a great opportunity to pick up these assets at these asset prices. There's lots of protocols coming. There's lots of things to get involved with. And I think that's just the best way of doing it. Instead of sort of hiding away, you get out there instead. And that's really, really going to bode well. And so when we do get that chart pivot, it's going to be even stronger and better than it ever was going to be if people were shying away, for example, And so that's very important there. So you can see the active wallets at the moment sitting around 10,600. We've had some peaky outs here, 45,000, things like that. And they may be related to different events, market events or protocol events launching. But, we've just really got to continue to spread the word as a broader community. So that is, I just really want to emphasize that point. And that is influencers, that's community members. Word of mouth is huge. And of course, protocol developers as well. So we need all those working together, and we're going to talk about that. So yeah, pretty awesome. We've had 169 million smart contracts on Pulsechain, 430 new ones today. So there is activity happening on the chain. 30,444 verified smart contracts. So really getting that quality up there on the chain, and 104 today. So pretty epic numbers there. Now, social media posts. Look at this. It's very telling. You can see we've had generally a big rise here since the beginning of Pulsechain, rising up here with the social media posts. In fact, we really peaked out here pretty cool in May of 139, probably around where Richard was posting as well. But of course, here we've had this big drop off at the moment. And of course, that's the opposite of what you want to do. So if you're a Pulsechain influencer, if you're a community member out there, all you have to do is get out and talk about all the cool things that are on Pulsechain. As I said, we've got meme coins, we've got utility coins, lending, leverage, all those sort of things. We've got smart wallets like internet money wallets and things like that. So there's lots of stuff out there. Influencer coins, you name it, DAO tokens, all that sort of stuff is on Pulsechain, and there's always opportunities in there, particularly while the markets are down on the low end, because that's when you buy low and you sell high later on, right? So that's the case here. So probably the biggest thing is just people getting out there to spread the word, right? So that's kind of cool. You can see social interactions tapering off here as well. Now, I'm not sure what the basis of these metrics are, but I'm just going with these metrics. And of course, we got that pull off as well. So that's the opposite of what we want to do. We know the prices are down. You want to get out there, spread the word. And you remember Richard Hart posted out. He said, I don't work for you. You guys got to go out and do the work. And of course, that is very, very true. Now, that is separate from the issue of Mr. Sack Daddy, separate from the issue of Magic Carpet Ride, all those other things. It's really the people on the chain get to spread the word about that. And of course, from Hex, of course, Richard had something like 150 influencers out there. And many of them some of them are not streaming anymore. Some of them are streaming again. So we see some people coming back and doing even more stuff like My Life is Awesome. Hex, Hexaco, and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. We've just got to get that moving forward at the moment and spread the word so I can get these numbers turning around, particularly when we are right now. So there's a bit of encouragement there for everybody. Obviously, we're here virtually every day on this channel. We're just going, whether it's bull market, bear market, down day, up day. We've been streaming year after year, day after day, and that's very important. And so is the community. People out in the community are doing that too. We just need to get them all on the same page, all of them moving forward there, and less fighting and that stuff, and spreading the good words about all the things that are on Pulsechain and building stuff, right? So I want to talk about stuff that's being built on Pulsechain. We've got some pretty cool stuff. Before we get that, we've got a couple of more comments here. Let's get to Property Review. Hey, Property Review, good show. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Diehard says, sell in May, come back in September. 3 months of buying the dip. Yeah, that could be the play too. We got Tintop and House there. What's up, Hexagons? Hey, Tintop, good to see you. Or should I say, what's up, Hexagons? Hey, Tintop, hope you're doing well. Now, we've got some, we know got developers. So we've got the community needs to get out there, as you can see in those metrics, and spread the word. That can be all sorts of things, posting every day. And of course, we are doing that here. We are backing certain projects. We're getting the word out about Pulsechain, and we're doing that through use cases, right? So we got Pulsechain at the moment. So this is Pateus. Everyone knows Pateus. Pretty much probably the number one a DEX aggregator on Pulsechain. Obviously, Portal X and other ones are out there. But super duper is Pateus, doing a great job. And of course, they're going to their phase 2, right? They are bringing AI coins to AI projects to Pulsechain. So we're not going to miss out on that mega thing. And we can see that it's going to be coming. So P-Day is coming. They've done the sacrifice. They're working on that, revolutionizing trade with a powerful ODC model. So they're going to have over-the-counter model there, customizable dollar cost averaging set. So really good for the retail book to dollar cost average into markets. And of course, an AI-powered strategy portal on Pulsechain to give you the edge, to give you the smarts. They're going to have AI-powered strategies there to do all the clever work for you So really democratizing geniusness, I think is the way we put it. Is it geniusness? Is that a good word? I don't know. So democratizing that for everybody. And this is coming down the line. So it's going to be really, really excited. So looking forward to P-Day coming. And the Batias team already dominating on the DEX aggregation and looking to dominate with AI projects. I think we've got 2 AI projects that I'm aware of at the moment coming. The Pulsechain, both of them seem to be pretty high quality. So we're really looking forward to that coming to Pulsechain. So that's P-Day there. And of course, they're working on that. The sacrifice did close, of course. So that's the one. I'm going to post a link to them if you want to check out a bit more information. But these are sort of projects that are coming. They're going to be very important. So, yeah, people need a reason to come, right? So having these projects and their utilities help people get, take advantage of that opportunity on the market. So I really, really like this one. Very, very cool. P-Day. Big shout out to Batias team now. You can see it's powered by Batias down the bottom there. Pretty cool. We've got some other animations here. The open book protocol, protocol featuring high frequency off trading order book with on-chain settlement, enabling capital efficient peer-to-peer markets. So you can see this is high quality, and it's going to be able to let you take advantage of the marketplaces on Pulsechain, which is always an opportunity, right? It's going to be pretty cool. OTC portal, of course, that's going to be really important. We know that the Magic Carpet Ride team are doing OTCs, so this is coming in behind that. We've got DCA modules there as well. The customized DCA module enables you to automate their investment strategies, so that's going to be super duper good there. AI strategies there, portal coming, leverages artificial intelligence, pretty awesome. I love that. A limit order aggregation as well. Unlike traditional limit orders, P-Day introduces an alternative and unique approach to the Pulsechain community. So real value add there. Very, very, very exciting. So get into that and hit up the team for anything more. So looking forward to that. Now, as you guys know, getting into these utility protocols that are doing AI, which is what I consider P-Day. We also have not only in DeFi section, so this is on the DeFi section, P-Day, but we also have GameFi, right? GameFi is another big, giant component of what gets valued up on Pulsechain. And, of course, here we've been promoting this, of course, as a big supporter of Jacob. Jacob really is the #1 DeFi protocol maker in the world right now. He has enabled peer-to-peer, truly peer-to-peer DeFi and GameFi in the world. Now, he has to make strategic decisions. Some people like those. Some people don't like them. He's got to adjust because, things evolve all the time. He's got to change tokenomics and all sorts of stuff. But we've seen from project to project to project, he's got better and better and better at doing that. So it's very exciting to where he's heading with not only the technology, which is really world leading, to the tokenomics, which just continues just to impress. And now he's got this big game, Mafia, that's on BNB chain. Of course, we've covered that a couple of weeks ago. And of course, now it's on Pulsechain called Pulse Mafia. And that's also doing extremely well here. So this is the BNB. Of course, I'm not going to cover this in full because we're doing a full show tomorrow with Cult DeFi, which is Jacob's PR guy for the whole of his ecosystem. But we're going to have some special guests tomorrow that you do not want to miss tomorrow's show. It's going to be very, very exciting for that. So here we are at the moment with this. This is going to be a really, really big GameFi project. And of course, it does a couple things. It allows people to potentially have great fun on Pulsechain. It allows people to potentially make an income or earn a crypto on Pulsechain. It also allows for virality to spread the word. And of course, that on any particular blockchain, you need some killer apps, some things that people are talking about, some people that people can get engaged in, get their teeth in, rather than just doing a trade, for example. They can get their teeth in on that and play every day. So it's kind of really cool like that. So there's lots of things, virality, growth for Pulsechain. It's already increasing the transactions on Pulsechain, so it's really huge from that point of view. And of course, really is creating this big vault. The vault in the game is going to attract people to it as well because of the big dollars involved. And of course, people want to get access to that. So really cool. It's got all the things you can think about stickiness. It's got strategy. It's got tactics. It's got team building. It's got community. Really has got everything in one. And we know that Crypto Kool-Aid, who is a professional gamer, very well known in the US industry for gaming, is now on board with Mafia. He is very impressed by the technology and the gamification, and it's very exciting to see him participate in that. He is a professional game developer with his own, AAA type game with 3D engines and all sorts of stuff like that. So I'm very excited where this is going. So we're big supporters of this. We think this is a big key part of making Pulsechain successful. Putting aside the Magic Carpet Ride, the Sack Daddy, which is out there. It's out there, but we're talking about the fundamentals of the Pulsechain. And Richard Hart said, you guys go out and do the work, make it grow. And this is all a big part of that. So I think it's very exciting out there as well. And when the markets are down, that's the best time to accumulate. We all know that, right? DCAing and that accumulation time, very important. So you get the best of every day. And of course, you're going to get the big volumes. You're going to be the big believer. And when the market does do its pivot, you're going to be the biggest gainers, right? That's the thing. And the only thing you have to do at the top of the market is to sell the top properly on the way, right? So Randy Alaski is big on that. And of course, it's very, very true. So exciting times happening there. Now, we're going to be covering that, of course. You can see already on Mafia, we've got 15 families on the old B&B side. The Vault at the moment has got how much here? Let's have a look here. The Vault. I hope that's going to refresh there. Waiting for that to accumulate. The Vault there, yeah, $54,000 in at the moment, 92 B&B. And of course, this game won't go live until 500 B&B is in there. We are expecting in the next week, of course, to have the NFT marketplace go live. That's going to create a whole ton of activity in economics and, of course, transactions on B&B and Pulsechain. It's going to be pretty epic. But also on Pulsechain, of course, we've got it just been launched over the last, we're on day 5 now. Maybe, yeah, day 5 is it? Maybe day 6. And of course, we've already got, 11 families. I see today we've got a new family. Mafia was covered by KG, the Internet Money wallet founder. And of course, Internet Money has set up their account. They've already got 5 members in their crew. So we're getting more and more influencers covering it as well. As you guys know, I'm covering the syndicate with Archie as the Don. And of course, you've got many others in there. The Hustlers there is another influencer. So you got one there. I think that is My Life is Awesome, Lick Gains. We've got Internet Money now, a 3rd influencer on here. And I think we've got a couple more influencers over on the other side. We've got Gifford We're here. That's Crypto Kool-Aid. So there's 4 influencers there right there on Pulsechain, on Mafia. So it really is starting to pick up pace. And I'm suspecting we're going to see more influencers on Pulsechain cover this project. And it's a good thing because we want to create big protocols, spread the word, all that good stuff. It's all self-fulfilling, right? And of course, all the community has to do is participate and get out there and spread the word about it. Hey, maybe you're not into crypto. Come and learn, come play this game. It's on crypto, but you sort of do it by default, right? So there's different ways of looking at this, onboarding new people to Pulsechain as well. And it's super cheap, super fast on Pulsechain. So it's a great place for games like this. We saw in the last bull market, when ETH started taking off, that games like, metaverses just died, right? Because you couldn't afford to do transactions, let alone buy land. In metaverse games last season. Pulsechain won't have that problem. It is super cheap, less than a penny to do transactions, things like that. So it is so good. All right, so that's some of the stuff there. We're going to be doing full-on show tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of big players in Mafia on the YouTube tomorrow. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of cool things happening there. All right, so that is that. Let's jump over to the Hex Day stats. That's kind of my roundup there about the future of Pulsechain and the crypto bull market. So just a summary. The crypto market's looking really good over the next six months. We're going to have shakeout periods. I would say 6 months to 12 months. I mean, it really is looking so good. We're expecting that big run to happen with a few little dips on the way, perhaps. And of course, the other thing is that we have got Pulsechain. The price of entry at the moment is gorgeous for people to get huge volumes at the moment. And of course, get that pivot right in the bull market. I'm very, very excited. We've got more protocols coming, quality protocols. We've got really great devs out there. We've got a community that needs to unify and get out to spread the word. We have got good things happening amongst the community, but we just need to get rid of a few of those wiggles and really get pushing forward. And the other thing, of course, is we've got these wonderful protocols that are going to be that are on Pulsechain like Mafia. You wonder why I cover them? Because that's really, really good for Pulsechain. Just like I covered Rune's protocol on Bitcoin last year, I was the only one doing that. You sort of see where that headed. Free big airdrops. A big money, and of course that looking forward to that being the number one on Bitcoin as well. So that multi-chain strategy, very important. Always good to have it diversified, but you want to pick the winners. That means you've got to do a bit of research, a bit of education, and get good judgment there. But very excited where it's heading, and to have really the best DeFi dev on the planet on Pulsechain right now, doing projects like Mafia is huge. Whether you agree with all the directions that he does or not. That's not the point. The fact that he's doing it on Pulsechain and that he's innovating at the frontier is the main thing. And he's got so good at it, honestly. I'm very excited about where everything is going. All right, so let's get into it. We've got Archie in the house there. Jacob really is the best dev around. He delivered on a feature I requested to help pay our members. It's going live tomorrow. Wow, are you kidding me? I know what that feature is. That is fantastic. Wow. Help to pay our members. Yeah, it's so good. All right, so yeah, get excited. It's going to be fun, folks. We're obviously a big champion in that. Let's get into the results for Hex, though. Day 1660, can you believe it? That's how long Hex has been around. Amazing, 4.5 years or something like that. So let's go here. We've got day 18th of June. We've got the payout at the moment, Hex on Ethereum at 7.322 Hex per T-share. Pretty amazing. We've got a big share in the jump in the share rate today, 44, sitting at just below 35,000 on the T-share rate there at the moment. What else we got there? T-shares, after a couple of big down days in T-shares, where I got an increase of 2,760 on the ETH chain, sitting at 9,004,000 T-shares. Remember, the all-time high was 11.2 million. So look where we're down 2.2 million T-shares from that. So if you've got T-shares, very lucky there, because the share rate obviously goes up. So you got to get, but at the moment you can buy Hex so cheap. You can offset a lot of the T-share rate change, right? That's the upside to that, and you can earn that nice yield. Nice little passive income yield there, waiting for it to turn around. And we know that when the price turns around, it becomes self-fulfilling, right? As this positive cycle where your payouts get even more valuable, right? So especially in the bull market period, as we say. So we've got 1 million in penalties today, sitting just below 66 million in the reward pool for all those T-share miners. And liquid holders up 14, miners down 2, sitting just above 117.5 thousand there on the miners. We haven't got Pulsechain out. No, Pulsechain will come out probably another half an hour or so. But we are sitting at, what's the day is this? 402. 402, I think it is. Yeah, what day is it? 402. And yeah, 17th of June there. We have got that day out. That was 6.996 Hex per T-share on Pulsechain. We've had a few little minor increases in the share rate there. And the T-shares have been going down. We're sitting, 9,367,000 T-shares now. But still, quite a bit more than on the Ethereum side there, about 360,000 more so. Let's have a look at the reward pool. Penalties have cooled off after all those days of high penalties. They've cooled off the last couple of days with probably the price coming down, probably a bit less people, penalizing themselves and selling into the market. We've got 65.5 million Hex in the payout pool there. And liquid holders up the last 2 days. Positive sign there, 38 and 48. And but the miners down 14, 123,714 miners there. And like I say, that's probably about 3,800 or something like that, more miners on the old Pulsechain. That is where that is at the moment. So hex.com, check it out. Start mining Hex today on Pulsechain or Ethereum. That is that. Wow, what a day. That was pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We covered the crypto bull market, all the characteristics, and yeah, looking very good, man. The market's going to go crazy. You guys know when the bull market, that big run that we're expecting when it starts coming, it's coming very, very close. When it does happen, it's going to be crazy. People are going to, if they haven't bought by then, they get left behind, right? That's just the way, and they end up buying the tops. Typically, that's what happens. So just remember that. The other thing, of course, we get that retail people that are not even in crypto come into crypto. And that's really a big signal of the top, right? Or big listing or something like that by one of the big exchanges, something like that will trigger it, and down we will go. And of course, you can often see the market roll over too. But we know big price calls for that. Most of the market analysts that have been pretty good are talking about 150 to 180,000 Bitcoin in the top of this bull market cycle. And of course, we could easily hit 100,000 this year. It seems just inevitable. Especially with the Ethereum ETFs launching July the 2nd, based on the last information we had from Bukahunas, I think it is. Bukahunas, I think that's the way you say it. The Bloomberg analyst. And of course, game on. And everyone will get left behind. It's going to be crazy. This is pivotal time right now. This is a pivotal time to get your positions. I mean, you've been lucky to have an extended period. We have had a bit of a bull run already since October through to now. Just take that into account. We already have had that pre-phase. But now since the Bitcoin halving 60 days ago, we're now getting through probably the end of that volatility period. There'll probably be a few little shakeouts here like we're getting a bit today. But then it's game on, right? So just take that into account. So not quite out of the volatility phase yet, but getting pretty close is my guess. And just be cautious about September there. Historically has been a red month. So just take that into account. On the Pulsechain front, though, projects coming, people coming, influencers are starting to come back and do more stuff. Really just need that to continue. We've got protocols like Mafia that need to be supported and pushed out. And we're seeing that influencer after influencer like today. We've had recently, I think, KG covered Mafia today. So, I mean, it's just more and more influencers jumping on board. I think that makes 7 or 8 now. So really is starting to climb. That's fantastic on the GameFi front of Pulsechain. And so I'm really excited about that. And of course, we've got projects on AI technology coming down the line as well. It's very, very exciting to see that too. I just pointed out 2 projects that are really, really high quality on Pulsechain right now. So that's pretty cool. Dave Dunn says exciting times ahead. We just need to wait a bit more. That's right, Dave. It really does feel like it's coming. Hey, look, and then there's the wild card, right? The wild card is coming, and that is the Magic Carpet Ride. So we'll be watching out. That's the wild card. That's what we're expecting at some play. Now, we do know that Richard Hart has the response to his court case dismissal. So that's over the next 2 months. The SEC is coming back with a response. And then, of course, Richard and his dream team lawyers get to respond to that. And, of course, that's, talking about July, August there. And then, of course, potentially, if that doesn't go through, I think we've got the case in October for the court case, and we'll see if we can get dismissed, which hopefully is going to be the case. Otherwise, it's going to drag on into next year with information discovery. And, of course, we know that's between March and June. So hopefully we'll get dismissed. I think the case is weak, but once again, we have to see what happens in that space. That is another question mark there. It's a gray, what do we call it? A gray, a gray swan. We call it a gray swan. That's what I'm trying to think of. All right, an hour and 5 minutes. I think it's pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. And let's look forward to tomorrow. Big show with full-on Mafia game. We're going to be getting into the nitty-gritty. The progress so far. We're going to have Cult DeFi, the front man for Jacob, and of course, who knows, we're going to have some special guests as well. You don't want to miss the special guests. It's going to be pretty cool. What else? I think that's it. Let's play out some cool stuff on the way out, shall we? I think I'm going to play the Magic Carpet Ride. Just seems appropriate. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. I'll see you in Discord. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a Magic Carpet Ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a Magic Carpet Ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
All right, I just realized we got a poll in the chat there. I just closed that off there. So we go, what are you doing on Pulsechain at the moment? We got 21 votes, so thanks to everyone that voted. We've got the number one is HODL. So that's very different from our last poll we did probably 4 or 5 days ago. And that's 76% is HODL, whereas we had the majority buying, remember, in the last poll. I think it was a 1/3, so about 33%, if I remember rightly. Buying is 19%. So at the moment, dropped to 90. That's that decrease in Bitcoin, right? And the price moving down. It's just the sentiment change there and direction change. We got selling 4%. So only a few people really capitulating there or selling. Maybe they're not capitulating. Maybe they're also buying other stuff. Who knows? But that is the place. And unsure is 0%. So it just shows you how knowledgeable everyone is. Everybody is sure about what they're doing at the moment. So a big shout out to all those votes. And very, very cool. All right. Take care, everybody. And let's play out Scott Harris. All right. Peace out. Bye for now.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA, and now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation. to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha ha! Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride upon that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Mexico. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Mexico. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Mexico.